Welcome students, under the initiative of Directorate of Higher Education, Government of Goa, titled Digital Integrated System for Holistic Teaching and Virtual Orientation, I will be taking steps in decision making process from Unit 2, Decision Making. My module number is 18. Learning outcomes are: explain the meaning of decision making, explain the steps in decision making process. Okay, let us begin with steps in decision making process. First step is identifying the problem. Under identifying the problem, you have three steps. First one is scanning, second one is categorization, and third one is diagnosis. Now, what do you mean by scanning? Scanning means monitoring the environment. If organization fails to achieve the objective, it creates performance gap. Performance gap is a difference between actual and expected performance. Take for example, if manager expects from the worker to produce 10 units in a day, and if worker produces only 5 units, that creates a performance gap. So, that is the first stage, scanning the performance gap. Second one is categorization. Under this stage, management understands the performance gap. He categorizes the problem, he categorizes the situation and finds out whether it is problematic or not. And third step is diagnosis. Diagnosis is nothing but it is simply collecting data about the problem. All the data relevant to the problem is collected. After problem is identified, second step is identifying resources and constraint. Now, what do you mean by resources? Anything which adds or which helps the manager in taking decision is called as resources. Take for example, man, machine, material, it can be considered as resources. And what are constraints? Constraint is nothing but something which stops management in taking the decision. Take for example, time factor, technical problem, etc. Now, under this step, the manager collect all but relevant resources relating to the problem under investigation. After problem is identified by the manager, he will collect only those resources and constraints which are relevant to the problem under investigation. Third step, developing alternative solution. After problem is identified, after resources and constraints are identified, third step is developing alternative solution. Now, what do you mean by alternative solution? It means creating more solutions to the problem and out of that solution selecting the best solution. So, that problem or alternative which is selected, it should be realistic and effective. While selecting the alternative, importance of the problem and accuracy of the manager to differentiate alternative must be considered. So, these two are very important factors. First one is importance of the problem. More the important problem will be, more time will be taken by the manager to solve the problem. And accuracy of the manager depends upon time and data which he gets from the various sources. Next step is evaluating alternative. After finding the alternative, they need to evaluate it. Now, when they are evaluating this alternative, various steps need to be taken into mind, or there are various points. First one is feasibility of the alternative. They should find out to what extent that alternative is feasible to the organization. Second one is quality. Whatever alternative, whatever solution they have in their mind, it should be qualitative. Third one is acceptability. That alternative should be acceptable by all the decision maker or all the workers in the organization. Next one is cost. Cost is expenditure, or it is the monetary expenditure towards the resources. Take for example, man. Man basically means the worker. What is the expenditure towards man? It will be the salary paid to the worker. So, that comes under cost. And lastly is the ethics. Ethics means whatever decision taken by the management, it should fit within the ethical background of the company. After that is implementing the decision. Implementing the decision means actually converting your idea into action. You are actually putting your idea into action. It should be clear, concise and understandable manner. Whatever decision implemented by the organization, it should be clear to all the levels of management, that is middle level, lower level of management. It should be concise and it should be in understandable manner. Language used should be simple. It should be based on two factors, careful planning and sensitivity to those who will implement the decision and or those who will be affected by it. So whatever decision they are taking, it should be based on two factors. It should be carefully planned. Without planning, they should not go and take the decision. They should not implement it. It should be properly planned. And second one is sensitivity to those who will implement the decision. Now who here comes under this managers? Okay, who means managers? They are the one who are implementing the decision. So that decision should be sensitive to the manager and those who will be affected by it. Who are affected by it? They are the workers. So it should be sensitive to both manager as well as workers. Last step is ensuring feedback and follow up. It determines the effectiveness of the chosen alternative in solving the problem or in moving the organization closer to the attainment of its goal. Now feedback is basically monitoring your decision. After decision has been implemented by the organization, it is very important to take feedback from the workers and follow up. So you are monitoring your decision which is taken in the organization. If your decision is correct, you will follow same. If the workers have some problem with the decision, you can change the decision and take new decision. So these are steps involved in decision making process. These are my references. Thank you.